It's said that design is in the eyes of the beholder, which is true and a good thing, because if we all liked the same thing, well, life would be a bit boring. But like life, it's not always fair, even in the auto biz. I mean, let's take the ill-fated Pontiac Aztek. It wasn't a bad vehicle to drive, but the design. I mean, the designer told me his inspiration was a hiking boot. So there you go. Now look at this vehicle. Your first reaction, of course, it's a box on four wheels, not a curve to be seen. Well, it is a Mercedes. It's a member of the G-Class. It's worth close to $150,000, and that design has been around for 36 years, since the Shah of Iran suggested to Mercedes-Benz it builds a SUV. But here's the catch. They can't keep these babies on the shelf.
It's a very unusual piece of automotive art. It belongs in a bygone era. It was conceived when Twiggy was wearing miniskirts, and back then it was a very good vehicle. If you fast forward to today, it's really beginning to show its age. You know, I mean, if you look at the S-Class, it can all but drive itself, and the only reason it doesn't drive itself is quite literally because there's legislation saying the driver's got to be in charge. You drive that great big Geländewagen, as they call it, well, if the driver's not paying attention, it'll wander on you, it'll do whatever it wants to do. I mean, it's still very capable. If you've got to go off-road and you want to do it in style, it's probably the best there is in the world. But the problem is, as an everyday vehicle, nah. I mean, look-wise, it's right out there on the edge. People look at it. It's an attention getter. You know, on the other side, you could say it was designed for those guys with a big wallet and a small ego.
Okay, time to take this old boy back to the Mercedes garage. Now let's be honest, most if not all the competition is, well, better in the sense of comfort, handling, etc. But unlike the other boys, this G-Class draws a crowd, and despite being around forever, it's always the same question we hear. Hey, what is that? The bottom line, it is what it is, and I'll bet you owners will tell you it's worth every penny they spend on it. But maybe more importantly, it may not make you the talk of the town, but certainly the talk of your street, until your neighbor comes home with a G65 AMG V12 with over 600 horsepower and over 700 pounds-feet of torque. But we'll save that story for another day.